I designed a 1.5 wide tileable X to X ratio shop. I designed this simple shop for use in the PvE Wither Skeleton arena that I'm building on Crafted Realm SMP, which I've linked below. This shop was built out of necessity when I couldn't find a simple, small, tileable shop with an easy purchasing interface that fit my needs. Although it looks like a bit of a mess at first, if you break down the shop into its core components, all we're really using here is a modified Impulse SV item sorter in combination with an Etho hopper clock. Technically how this works is by using the comparator in combination with the length of our hopper clock to set a price. The comparator is looking at the contents of the hopper in front of it and comparing the strength of that signal against a redstone block immediately next to it. When the contents of the hopper are full, the strength of that signal reaches 15, which is equal to that of the redstone block. This causes the comparator to send out a signal, triggering our dispenser and causing our observer to activate the hopper clock below. This unlocks and drains the hopper for an amount of time based on the length of the hopper clock. This is how our price is set, so to increase the cost of an item, we just increase the length of the hopper clock. Our profits are taken down into the second hopper that we can then send off to a chest or down a line of hoppers or really whatever we'd like to do with them. The torch behind the input hopper is there as a sort of safety mechanism. This will invert to the on state when the shop is active, preventing customers from overpaying while the shop is processing the payment because that hopper will be locked. There are 2 or 3 downsides to this design. Unfortunately, it is a little bit disingenuous to call it X to 1 or X to X ratio. Because of the delay in the redstone components, the cost of an item can only be equal to double the number of items in the hopper clock minus 1. That is to say, if we had 4 items in the hopper clock, the cost of our shop would be 7 items. The only exception to that rule is the lowest possible cost being 2, which is the result of having only 1 item in the hopper clock. Another downside is that our price should not be any more than 63 items. Since the system is based on an item sorter, we need at least 1 item of the currency we're using in the first hopper, otherwise a player would be able to put any item they want into the shop to make their purchase. To avoid this, there should be no more than 32 items in the hopper clock, which would be a cost of 63. For shops that offer more than 1 item for a purchase, I have a modified design using a second hopper clock. For this one, it's the exact same concept, with the only difference being that our signal that would have normally activated the dispenser, we instead start a second hopper clock that activates an observer clock on the dispenser. Now we can dispense however many items we like based on the length of our second hopper clock. This design has its own minor pitfalls. There is a cooldown on this shop based on the length of our second hopper clock, where all the items have been dispensed, but we still have to wait for the second hopper clock to reset before making another purchase. I haven't found a way around this yet, but if you have any suggestions for modifications to either of these designs, please feel free to leave them in the comments below. And while you're down there, you'll see a link to our Discord, which you're welcome to join, and you'll see the like and subscribe button. All right, now things are going to get a little less formal, and we're going to do a little block by block build together kind of exciting sort of thing. It's going to be interesting. I'm going to try and do this from memory, guys. So let's give it a try. So I figured we start with our dropper. We'll go ahead and we'll move down 7 blocks below that. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And that 7th block is going to be the one that we keep, right? And now what we want is we actually want to create our hopper clock down below everything. So we'll do, this is our left side of the hopper clock, and then we need 2 spaces in between, and then a 3rd block right there. We'll get rid of those 2 middle ones, and we'll go like that and get the right side of our hopper clock. And this one's a little bit different in that we will need a 3rd block up there. And then with hopper clocks, if you guys don't already know, we toss down a couple comparators facing away, so they're taking a signal out of the hoppers. And then we need a couple of pistons on the side that we want to activate, which is the side sort of right underneath the hopper, or the dropper, excuse me. We'll put a sticky piston, and on the opposite side we'll put a regular piston. Having a regular piston on one side makes it so that the hopper clock only activates 1 time and doesn't continue back and forth over and over and over again. functionally very useful for a shop, of course. We'll also need a couple hoppers facing into each other, so I'll place one temporarily, break it, and then get it facing the other way. So now they're pointing at each other, doing a little hopper kiss, if you will. That's weird, definitely weird. And we'll place down a piece of redstone dust on this side. This side gets a little bit weird, though. We're actually not going to do redstone dust on this side like you normally would with a hopper clock. We're actually going to go with redstone torches. So we're going to put one here and then one here, right? And then what we're going to do is we're actually going to use, I'm going to switch wool colors here because I like to contain, like, oh, yellow is only the hopper clock part of things. This would be a functional hopper clock, just like this. It would work. But now we're going to use this to get a signal and send it up into a repeater. So we're going to do a little block on top of that, and then we'll have a block on top of the piston. And then we're going to create kind of an L shape like this. Oh, you know what? I'm sorry. I've got things backwards. So do L shape like that. And then we need a block kind of over on this corner. And then we want to throw down another redstone torch right there. So you got to see we have a little bit of a torch tower going on here. And what we'll do is out of this block now, we'll take that signal with a redstone repeater and send it into there. Now from here, I actually want to put a block over here. Normally I use white wool, but I don't care. This is going to work just fine. And over here, we actually want to put our observer now. I don't have one of those in my inventory. Let me grab one. So we need the observer, and we're going to have that facing with the redstone signal shooting down into our hopper clock. And this is kind of how these one-sided hopper clocks work, where it's just a sticky piston on one side. You just have to update this block on this side to get it to fire off and kind of do its hopper clock thing. So now that that's in place, we also want a comparator on top of here, facing away from this gap. So it's taking a signal out of a hopper that's going to be here eventually. In fact, why not? Why not be right now? Let's we'll put the hopper in place, facing straight into that. You do not want it facing down. We only want it facing toward the comparator. And then we actually need to take a signal out of this with a repeater. So we'll put a repeater there coming out of the comparator. And that's actually going to go into another block, which will be right here. And then we need to kind of go diagonally up to underneath this dropper. And we'll need some redstone dust to put down on top of this. So the last thing we really need to do here is we need to take our payment from somewhere. The player will be standing here. So if you guys need a reference like for where to place things, I would plan to be looking straight at the dropper, and that's where the shop's going to be. So if we should have talked about that before we started building, but hey, you know it now. And we're going to want to take this signal and or take this payment and send it somewhere. So let's go ahead and let's just place down a chest. I'll just grab a regular old chest, and you know what? While we're in here, let's grab redstone blocks because I know we're going to need those. So we'll throw down our chest. Let's do it just like right here. And we'll take the hopper and send that into there. All right, cool. So now that's all in place. The last thing we need to actually put together is the redstone blocks and then the items inside the hoppers and the hopper clock. So I'll start by putting down this bad boy right here. We need, oh, you know what? We should have put this on the other side like that. That's better. Let's put our redstone block right there next to our comparator so that our comparator is looking at that and comparing it against what's inside here. And then we'll need one on this hopper clock as well. I'm going to put it right there. And I believe we want it on the sticky piston side. That's the correct way to do it. And then we need to put the items in. So up here, this is where our payment's going to go. So we need any random item. It doesn't really matter what item you use. I'll just go with this green wool, right? And we want to fill up these last 4 slots completely. You want to make sure they're 100% full. I guess you could use non-stackable items too if you wanted to use like wooden swords or something. It doesn't really matter what you use as long as it's either a full stack or a non-stackable item. And then we need our payment, right? So let's grab some diamonds. Diamonds! And you know what? We'll go ahead and get 1 stack, except for that one. We'll leave one out. And down here, we want to get our hopper stuff in place, right? So here we want to set up the number of items that's going to equal our payment. From earlier, if you remember, the cost of our shop is going to be double this number minus 1. So say we wanted it to cost 7, I would put 4 in here because 4 times 2 is 8, minus 1 is 7. So 4 items in this hopper clock will equal a cost of 7. So let's grab, I like to use redstone dust for no reason. It's actually a kind of a bad idea because when you're screwing around with stuff, you might break some redstone dust and it'll fall in here and it'll break your whole system, but whatever. I guess any other item would too, right? So doesn't really matter. But we'll put, oh yeah, what am I doing? I just said 4 would equal a cost of 7. So we'll put 4 items in there. Yeah, it'll fire off once, whatever. Don't worry about it. And we should be good. If this breaks, if your shop is not working for some reason, the problem is probably that this piston is extended and it just stays extended. It's broken. Don't worry. Just take the items out of this hopper. They're probably over here, and just put them in this hopper, and then it'll cycle through once and it'll be no big deal. Now, if we look up here, we probably lost some items. Yeah, we sure did. And that's fine. Just when you come back up here, make sure these 4 stacks are still full, or you have all those items up there. And let's go ahead and we'll prime the shop. So when I say prime the shop, we're going to fill this all the way up so that it drains as if somebody has just paid, and then it should be at the right number. So fill that up. Sure enough, we lost 7. So now if a person comes up with their 7 diamonds, they walk up and they say, oh, I'd like to purchase this. Oh, you know what? We don't have anything to purchase yet. What are we doing? Well, let's do emeralds. Oops. Let's fill this up with emeralds. Perfect. And now have my 7 diamonds. And, you know, we could like fill this in. Let's do like a quartz block or something. We could make this look like an actual shopper or something like that. You could have stuff right here, right? And then like, you know, you have like a sign. You never know. Let's do like a item for a glowing item frame. Ooh, 1.17 stuff. And we'll put emeralds in it. Oh, that's nice. Oh, that's real nice. And then, you know what? Let's put some carpet down. Let's do like some gray carpet. We're getting so fancy. Look how fancy this is. I got my, oh, look at this beautiful shop. Let me, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Oh, I got an emerald. I'm rich. What a beautiful little shop. It's pretty simple. It's functional. It's nice, you know? It's a nice little shop. We can get rid of this stuff so you guys can see the actual thing. But yeah, you should consider that though, is that if you put 2 blocks right here, it'll just shoot it right through the blocks. So it's no big deal. You can put this like behind an actual wall and it'll still function. That's what I do in my Wither Skeleton Arena prototype. But yeah, that's the whole thing. We built it. Now, if you guys want to sell multiple items, you want to sell like a stack of arrows or half a stack of arrows, all we need to do is kind of change things over here. So let's try that. All we're going to do is we're going to take this signal out of here. We'll leave that there. We can leave that exactly where it is. But we'll take this signal out of here. And I believe the way this is going to work is we're going to send it into, you like how I'm not sure? I think this is right. We're going to send it into another hopper clock. And so, you know, we'll do all the regular stuff. You know, regular hopper clock. This one's actually going to be a normal one too. Well, I say that. It's going to be a, it's going to be still a one-time hopper clock, but it's going to be just redstone dust behind these. So we'll just put, can I steal this, please? That there, that there. And then, you know, we put the redstone block in place. We need some hoppers to put here and here, so they're facing into each other. And then this one's pretty cool. I actually like this design a lot. I think it's pretty clever. I don't know if this is my idea. I'm sure someone else has done this before, but it's pretty cool, I think. So we have this set up so that when this extends, it causes this piston to extend. And what we do is we have, oops, that guy there. Oop, sorry. I'll take that. We have that guy there facing this way, and then we're going to create a clock, right? So we'll just have another one here, just like that. And so now when this extends, it causes this piston to extend, which creates this clock. Pretty cool. So depending on how long this one is, that's going to change how many items are dispensed. So if I want to buy a bunch of emeralds, let's see. We could make it, let's do like 8, right? Uh-oh. Okay. Okay. Everything okay? I think, okay, I think we're good. All right, so now we need our 7 diamonds again. Let's see. Oh, where's my inventory? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7. Down here. You know, let's clear everything else out of our inventory. So we got a nice clean look at how this works. I come in here and I go, oh, hello. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Oh, baby. Oh, we're rich. We just bought 14 emeralds. Look at that. Fancy. And this bad boy's already primed up and ready to go again. We just have to wait, and like you have to make sure this has gone back before you try and purchase it again, or else it'll break the whole thing. So, ooh, not a perfect design. It's not perfect, but you know, I really did my best. I did do my best. I hope somebody has a way to make this like perfect, because like, look at this. Have you ever seen a simpler shop design? It's so simple. I believe that the compromises are worth how simple this is. 2 hopper clocks and an item sorter. Easy. Easy. That's like beginner Minecraft stuff. That's pretty cool. Hey, I hope you guys like this. Make sure you like the video. Make sure you subscribe if you haven't. Keep your eyes open for Wither Skeleton Arena. All survival, baby. All survival. It's going to be so good. I have so many resources gathered. We got some cool videos coming up. But hey, you've been a pleasure as always, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.